You have been losing and gaining the same £5 for years now, and that has left you feeling frustrated and fed up. In this video, I'm going to give you the missing piece of the puzzle that you have been searching for to finally stop you yo-yo dieting for good. If you're sat there thinking, yeah, but why should I listen to you? What do you know? Well, I'm Lauren, I'm a women's strength and fat loss coach, and I have worked with hundreds of women over the last 4 years to take them from yo-yo dieters who are scared of lifting weights to confident lifters who know how fat loss works so they can lose the weight and keep it off for good. Whilst you're here, I am also giving you 4 weeks of free fat loss coaching. Head to the link in the description below. You think that you're missing the perfect workout plan or the perfect meal plan, and if you just had those things, everything would be okay. And while yes, of course you do need diet and exercise for fat loss, that's not the thing that you're missing. You've got a wealth of information at your fingertips. I mean, you can go on ChatGPT and ask it to create you the best workout plan for fat loss, the best meal plan for fat loss. Hell, it's even going to give you a shopping list to go with that meal plan. Even with that information, you're still not doing it. And why aren't you doing it? Because if your mindset isn't right, you're never going to execute the plan. And this is the thing that you are missing. In this video, I'm going to outline what a growth mindset is, 3 ways that a growth mindset will help you with fat loss, and the 4 things that you can do to help cultivate a growth mindset so that you can finally stick to your diet and stop losing and regaining the same £5 over and over again. Let me introduce you to the concept of a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. If you find yourself having thoughts like, I'm just not a gym person, I can never stick to a diet, I'm just not motivated. These types of thoughts are examples of a fixed mindset. And guess what? When you place these limitations on yourself, they will become true. However, on the other end of the spectrum, you've got a growth mindset, which would be thoughts like, I'm not a gym person yet, but if I start going just once a week for a 20-minute workout, soon I will become that person. I do have the power to be motivated, I just need to unlock that motivation. With a fixed mindset, you will always find excuses and problems as to why you can't do something. But with a growth mindset, you will look for solutions to your problems. So way number 1 that a growth mindset is going to help you with your fat loss. A growth mindset will help you to reframe your setbacks. One of the biggest reasons that people fail with their fat loss is because they treat every setback as proof that they can't succeed. You might miss a workout or 2, you might overeat on the weekend, you step on the scales and they've gone up and you think, this is it, I've ruined everything. But successful fat loss doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from responding to those imperfections and learning from them. People with a growth mindset understand that setbacks are just a part of the process. They are always going to happen. They are not proof that you can't do something. Think about learning a new skill. You know, when you're a kid and you're learning to ride a bike, how many times do you fall off before you eventually get it right? If you're learning to play a new instrument, say you're picking up a guitar for the first time, you don't expect to just pick it up and play it perfectly. It's going to take time to perfect that skill. So why is fat loss any different? Why do people expect that they are just going to be perfect at it from day one? Having the expectation that you're going to be perfect will only lead to you feeling shame when you are not perfect, and that shame will lead to you giving up. Instead of looking at setbacks as proof that you are incapable, start asking yourself questions. What triggered this setback? What can I do to improve next time? What's one thing that I could do today to get back on track? The goal is not to never fail. We are human. The goal is to become someone who learns from those failures so that you can do better next time. Let's take the example of one of my clients who recently in her check-in said she was really struggling to stick to her calories, and the problem was she had busy days and she just wanted to have a treat after those busy days. So I asked her, why is it that you feel like you deserve a treat after busy days? After all, you know, we are all adults, life is just busy. Does that mean that we need a treat? And why do you think that you're going for the types of treats that you are? These were the first questions that I asked, and these led to her unlocking a whole new revelation that actually it wasn't necessarily that she was busy, it's that she likes to be busy, but some of the work that she was doing was uninteresting. So she was bored and trying to find a distraction. And that distraction was coming in the form of a quick dopamine hit from the chocolate that she was eating, which she then realised doesn't actually last for very long, so then she has to have more. So then we uncovered the real problem was actually boredom, not needing a treat. So we looked at other ways of dealing with this boredom. And funnily enough, a week later, she was perfect with her calories. And this is a lady who is 25 kilos down since she started coaching with me, in her 40s, now feeling better than she even felt in her 20s. And the reason that she's been so successful isn't because she hasn't fucked up on the way, it's because she's had me there in her corner, helping her to reframe these things, learn from them, so that she does better next time. So the second way that a growth mindset is going to help you with fat loss is it's going to help you to shift your focus away from outcomes and towards your identity and the process. The fixed mindset is very much obsessed with outcomes. I need to lose 20 pounds. I need abs. I need the scale to drop. Whereas with a growth mindset, you focus more on the identity and who you are as a person. I'm becoming someone that does take care of their body. I'm learning to be more consistent with my diet and exercise. I'm building healthier habits that are going to last, and learning to shift from someone who is solely focused on outcomes to aligning their behaviours with their identity is a really powerful shift, because outcomes can take an incredibly long time to become a reality, but shifting your identity, that can change immediately if you want it to. I want you to remember this one sentence: you don't become healthy by losing weight, you lose weight by becoming healthier. If you were to wake up tomorrow and suddenly be 20 kilos lighter, that doesn't mean that you would be healthy. You would not have built those healthy habits. You would still have the unhealthy habits that you do now, and therefore the weight would just come back on. Sustainable fat loss comes from small, repeated behaviours. Things like getting out daily for a walk, things like going to the gym, strength training 2 to 3 times a week, prioritising protein with your meals, making sure you're getting plenty of fruit and veg into your diet. And these actions reinforce your new identity and who you are as a person. And when your identity changes and you become that person, fat loss becomes a whole lot easier. The third way that a growth mindset is going to help you with fat loss is it's going to help you celebrate the wins. And that means every small win along the way, not just when you've reached your goal target weight of maybe like 20 kilos lost. That's a big loss. Most people feel like their fat loss has only been successful when they see a massive drop on the scale. But fat loss is so much bigger than just that number. And if you're relying solely on that number to measure your progress, you're likely to give up before you've even got anywhere. With a growth mindset, you will focus on other wins, other positives along the way that I like to call sub-goals. Setting yourself these smaller goals like, eating more fruit and veg, getting out for a walk every day, hitting certain numbers in the gym. All of these are easily measured and well worth celebrating. And here's the real winner: they give you something positive to focus on along the way, something to celebrate, so that you don't feel like you're constantly failing when you don't see that number come down as quickly as you want it to. And this will keep you motivated to carry on. The more specific that you can be with these goal behaviours, the better, because then you'll find it easier to measure them and see just how well you're doing. If you only celebrate perfection, then you're going to constantly feel like you're behind and like you're failing. And that's not very motivating, is it? But if you celebrate all of the progress along the way, you will start to build momentum. Sustainable fat loss isn't about going all in for 2 weeks, because in the grand scheme of things, 2 weeks is fuck all time. It's about becoming slightly better month after month after month. Now you know how a growth mindset can benefit your fat loss. How do we actually go about cultivating a growth mindset? Here are 4 practical ways to build a growth mindset. Number 1 is to think about the way you're talking to yourself. Notice when you say things like, I'll never change. I have no discipline. I'm so bad at sticking to a diet. Notice when you say phrases like this and try replacing them and adding yet onto the end. Yet is a very powerful word. I haven't found a diet I can stick to yet. I haven't found a diet that works yet, because I promise you there is a way. Number 2 is treat every mistake like data. Take the emotions out of it, take a step back and look at what's in front of you. Like Lucy did with overeating because she needed a treat after a long day. If you've had a day where you've overeaten and you've gone massively over on your calories, take a step back. Don't beat yourself up about it. Have a look at the day. Why have you overeaten? Were you too restrictive with your diet and you tried to eat too little throughout the day, and then you got to the evening and you just couldn't stop going for the snacks because you were hungry? Were you stressed? Were you bored? Did you need a distraction from something? Were you simply unprepared and you just tried to wing the day? Being aware of why something happened is incredibly powerful, because then you know how to change to improve. If my clients have a bad day or a bad week, I'm never going to tell them off because they fucked up. I'm going to help them understand why they've had that bad week, what's actually gone wrong, not just on the surface, I just couldn't do it, what has led to them not being able to do the thing, because when we know that, then we can look at ways of fixing it. Number 3, you're going to set process goals. You're not just going to set the goal of, I want to lose 20 kilos. You're going to set goals like, I'm going to do 8,000 steps a day. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. I'm going to eat protein with every meal. I'm going to sleep for at least 7 hours every night. I'm going to drink 1.5 litres to 2 litres of water every day. Process goals will help you build your confidence because you can control them every day and you can tick them off. Something positive for you to focus on. Number 4, expect that your journey will be messy. You're a human being. We make errors all the time. That is just life, and fat loss isn't any different. Fat loss is unfortunately not linear. It's not just going to go from here straight down to here. There are going to be bumps along the way. It's going to go from here to here, back up to here, down again, down again, down again, up again, down again. There will be fluctuations. You're going to have bad weeks. You're going to have periods where progress feels slow, but that does not mean that it's not working. Having a growth mindset means trusting the process even when the results aren't immediate. Don't forget, in the description below is the link to grab yourself for 3 weeks of fat loss coaching that will help you lose your first 2 to 4 kilos. It will help you to set up your calorie goals, it will help you to set up your step goals, and it will give you a 4-week beginner-friendly training plan to follow with home and gym workouts. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one.